Welcome fellow gamers, this is the Tuck Gaming, and today I decided to upload my first installment of my thoughts, where I break down a series into 4 different parts known as the breakdown, which consists of the games in the series, the plot, and the gameplay. Next I'll be doing the pros of the series, after that the cons, and lastly the verdict. So we're going to jump right into the breakdown and start off with the games. Now technically this series was consisted of 2 games known as Jet Set Radio and Jet Set Radio Future, although there are a couple exceptions. Now Jet Set Radio was released in 2000 for the Dreamcast, but also same was Jet Grind Radio. The only difference is that it was called Jet Set Radio in Japan, and in America and other countries they decided to call it Jet Grind Radio. After a little while they decided to create the deluxe version because their fan base was complaining about how many bugs and technical issues there were. Next came Jet Set Radio Future in 2002 for the Xbox. Afterwards came Jet Set Radio for the Game Boy Advance in 2003, which they ported, which is basically Jet Set Radio except in 2-bit form. And more recently came Jet Set Radio HD, which was released in 2012 for PSN and Xbox Live. Now right now I'm showing you guys a comparison between the Dreamcast version and the PlayStation 3/Xbox 360 version. As you can see, there are quite a few differences. It seems like there's a lot more color, and something that you guys can't really notice, but the controls in the game have been improved immensely. Now that I'm done with the games, I'm going to go straight into the Jet Set Radio plot. So you play as one of the many members of the GGs, or the Graffiti Gang. Your initial goal is to tag territories with your graffiti skill. While tagging these territories, you'll meet with many gang members such as the Love Shockers, the Noise Tanks, and the Poison Jams. But they're not the GG's only problem. The police, SWAT, and the Golden Rhinos will also be getting in your way. While tagging territories, the GGs are not alone. Professor K, head of the pirated radio station known as Jet Set Radio, supports you and gives you the heads up on rivals. Now we're going to jump straight into the gameplay. Your main goal in the game is to skate and grind while collecting spray cans scattered all throughout the stage to cover up your rival gang's graffiti art. While covering up your rival gang's art, you'll follow specific patterns to complete the transition of theirs to yours. You'll also be chased by the cops while doing this act of vandalism. After completing stages, you'll be approached by many skaters and will be challenged in races and other activities. Now one of the pros of this game is definitely the soundtrack. Just to name a couple of the tracks: Let Mom Sleep, Humming the Bassline, That's Enough, Everybody Jump Around, and Sneak Man. I cannot complain about this game's soundtrack one little bit. Every single song is perfect. Well, there is this one song. Ugh. The graphics are also something to reckon with. They're very different, also very stylish, with a lot of color. They call this cell shading. Now, graffiti skating, one of the greatest combinations in video games ever. And I absolutely love how they treat graffiti as an art rather than an act of vandalism. There are also many different characters. But overall for pros, I just want to say one word: unique. Now the cons. The difficulty does have some problems. It escalates from being extremely easy to extremely hard very fast. The controls are a little clunky and jumping feels very stiff. But what are you going to do? These are just because they're old game problems, and actually the HD remake fixes a lot of these problems, other than the difficulty of course. So now that we're done with the plot and gameplay of Jet Set Radio, we're going to be moving on to Jet Set Radio Future. Now not much has changed. Everything is the same, from Professor K still watching your back, tagging rival territories with your graffiti art, and also gaining more members for the GGs. Now what is different is that you have a new main rival group that takes place in a futuristic Japan known as the Rakaku Group. The Rakaku Group's leader is now the mayor of Tokyo and is using the corrupt police force to strip the GGs and other gangs of their territories. Now the gameplay. Again, not too much changed. Your goal is still to collect spray cans and bury futuristic Tokyo in graffiti, still while riding skates, grinding, performing tricks, and even boosting. Again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Now the pros. Improvements. It is much easier and fun to play. The controls are much smoother, and the graphics have improved quite a bit. The soundtrack is still one of the best. Actually, I would consider surpassing its original, with all new bands and tracks, with a couple of returning as well. A couple of these tracks would be The Concept of Love, Aisle 10, Fly Like a Butterfly, Baby T, and Shape the Future, and also returning and new characters. Overall, it still maintains its uniqueness with many improvements to further your enjoyments. Now the cons. Characters' names have changed. Yo-Yo is the main character instead of Beat, and Beat is no longer the leader of the GGs. Plus, this one might just be a little opinionated, but I believe that it's also a con that there is no sequel or HD remake of this game. And on to the verdict. If there's one word to describe this series, it's unique, but in a good way. So, like 6 words. You're never gonna find a game with skating gangsters tagging up the streets. It's never easy finding cool and unique games nowadays with these FPSs in the way. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. So do yourself a favor and pick this epic series up. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love nothing more to give this video a thumbs down below. Also, please subscribe. All you have to do is press that oh so beautiful graffiti in my video, and it will keep you up to date with all my future videos. It would mean the world to me. So gamers, keep on gaming. See ya.